From 21 Sports, this is Penguin Gameday, driven by Greenwood Chevrolet, Austintown.
Penguin Gameday starts now!
Hi everybody, and welcome to Penguin Game Day as we come to you from the Watts on the campus of Youngstown State University. Happy to be joined by the head coach of the Penguins, Doug Phillips, whose team is coming off a 48-29 victory over Indiana State on Saturday. That game seems like it was like weeks ago, doesn't it?
It does. I feel like, I got to recall a lot of those things because you're so ingrained in getting ready for the next game.
And certainly a good performance by you guys. 2 for 2 now since, this playoff situation started a couple of weeks ago. 2 for 2 with one big one to go. But what'd you like from your team on Saturday, Coach?
Again, that resilience to work through some issues we had in that first half, and walking down to the locker room at halftime. I had a linebacker, Carson Myers, said, "Coach, don't worry, they're not going to get to 30." And at that point, they were at 26. So, we started to settle down that second half, and offense was able to get going.
Did they surprise you with anything they did?
No. We knew Indiana State would come with a good game plan. They have a lot of game film, and they can look and see. We knew that they had a threat at wide receiver, and they hit him a lot. I mean, he had over 200 yards receiving.
And you come up with a big turnover here after a missed field goal, Coach, so it kind of set the table for you.
Yeah, it was great to see. We had 17 points off turnovers. That's something that we haven't done. And for the defense to create those turnovers, that's one thing they did on Saturday.
Certainly able to take advantage of the situation. Mr. Brungard did what he had to do for your offense.
We always say opportunistic offense. So when we get a turnover, can we turn them into points? And once you're in the red zone, can we score touchdowns? And that's what we did. And the one thing about the offense, too, is ball security. We didn't turn the ball over one time.
So you said that, I didn't, so
yes.
I don't want to jinx you.
Yes.
When they made a play, you guys were able to respond very quickly to kind of counteract that.
Yeah, you saw Flash there, come up with a big play and go get a ball in the end zone. And then we started to get stops there in the second half, and that's what we needed, to get some stops, get the ball back to our offense, and get up by 17 or 18, whatever it was. Defensively,
not perfect. No game is perfect, but you got to like what you saw defensively, because they did score 26 and only finished the second half with three.
Yeah, we held them to 3, and that's been something that proud of our young men that. Coming out after half, we've been able to make adjustments in all of our games and limit teams in the second half. But we got to start fast. This week's a playoff game for us, and you cannot start slow. We got to play for 60-plus minutes.
Coach, on the sidelines, you must walk about 9 miles. You're up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, closer to 13, 14, but it's my exercise for the week.
You're in a tight game. It seems like you really don't change your demeanor at all.
Try not to. We talk about don't ride the wave of emotion, control the tide. And, I want our young men to see, me controlling the tide, because that's what I'm expecting them to do. And, trust in your coaches, trust in your players. And even when things aren't going good, don't flinch. We'll get through it. And that's the one thing, how our young men have responded this year in all the football games.
I know demeanor is very important because the team is a reflection of their coach, but at times are you like, wow, can we do this, and can we come back?
You take a deep breath. You're on the phones with offensive coaches, defensive coaches, but again, sometimes the game's got to settle in. That first drive of a game, or even the second drive, a lot of that's planned off a lot of film work, scripted. It's when the game gets going in the third and fourth quarter that you really see the necessary adjustments to win a football game.
We'll touch on Northern Iowa a little bit later on, but just briefly, Coach, this is a team that's kind of been a thorn in the side of the Penguins, not only when you've been the coach, but several others.
It's a great football program. They're always going to be big. They're going to be physical. They do a great job of recruiting and developing. Coach Steps will do a great job there, and he's doing a great job now. The one thing, I told our young men, we've been there. We are 3-8 at this point last year, going in the last game of the year, playing Northern Iowa, who coach was stepping down. And we knew how important that game was, and we were going to find a way to win that football game, and we did in overtime on a 2-point play. So we've been on the other side, and those guys want to gain momentum going into the off season and get their program trending in the right direction.
Well, it's a Western Pennsylvania night because we have two Western Pennsylvania players we'll talk to over the next couple of segments when Penguin Game Day continues.